Whether you're a brand new food photographer or you're just looking to step up your Instagram game, everybody wants to take better pictures of their food. Today I'm sharing my top 5 tips for how to improve your food photography with any level of camera. Whether you're working with your smartphone or a budget camera, top-down or flat-lay photos tend to be the most forgiving and will give you the best look without having to spend a ton of money on camera bodies and lenses. Top-down photos have a really nice trendy look and really give you a lot of opportunity to work and practice on your composition, which leads me directly into my next tip. The environment around the food that you're photographing is just as, if not more important than the actual dish itself. Utilize ingredients from the dish or the tools that you used to make the dish to really set an entire scene and environment for that food. You only have one frame to tell an entire story, so you want to make sure that food looks as delicious as you know it is in real life. You want to make sure and focus on the composition and balance of the shot. Utilize different things like rule of thirds, but you also want to make sure that any items in the photo bring balance to either side. This is something that gets easier over time with practice, and the more that you learn, you're able to take kind of bigger risks and maybe have more negative space and have it look purposeful and not like you're an amateur or it was a mistake. Natural light is going to be your best friend. Some of the best food photos I've taken for my Instagram account were entirely used by this big window in my apartment. So when you're ready to take that food photo, shut off your kitchen lights, head towards your nearest window. It's going to be the best light that money can buy. Another tip in regards to lighting, you want to make sure and have the light source come from behind your food or from an angle. You never want to have light in the same direction as your camera. That's going to make the food appear really flat. If you have your camera set up here and your light source back here and your food in the middle, that light is going to bounce and hit your food and create so much more depth and texture to the dish. If you have it coming directly from your camera or directly from the top, it's going to make everything appear much more flat. Some of the best food photos I've ever seen all have action of some sort. It's important to manicure and set up your food in a way that looks aesthetically pleasing, but if you have every last little detail down to the touch perfect, like it's never been seen by a human or eaten or touched, it's going to make it a little more cold. If you have maybe a bite taken out or you're slicing or cutting a piece off while you're in frame, that's just gonna elevate the picture as a whole and allow the audience seeing it to really relate a lot more to that picture and make it look a lot more appetizing. I've got one last quick bonus tip for everybody. Utilize cooking spray if you're on a longer photo shoot. This is something I do quite often when I'm making my recipe videos. I have to get B-roll of the finished recipe. I have to take photos for the thumbnails and for my Instagram. So a lot of times that food's sitting there for a good hour. And after that full hour, it's starting to look a little dull, a little flat, a little dry. It looks like it's been sitting out. A good way to refresh that and bring some life back into the food, spray non-stick cooking spray over your dish. It's still going to be edible, so you're not wasting any food, and this just really revitalizes and brings a lot of life back into a dish that might have been sitting out on a photo shoot all day. But that is it for the tips this week. I'd love to hear if you have any tips or hacks or anything you'd recommend for new food photographers. Leave it down below in the comments. I'd love to get a good discussion going on it. Be sure to subscribe as well if you're new. I do all sorts of different videos on here, a lot relating to cooking, so stick around if you want to see more of that. And be sure to like the video if you did enjoy this, helps me out a ton. But until next time, I'll talk to y'all later. Have a good one.